They were your best customers, and now they're your worst downline. So what happened? Hi, this is John Sanpetro, and on this episode of the Stamping is My Business podcast, we're going to look at the reasons why your best customers usually make your worst downline and what you can do about it. It's probably happened to you. You have a customer. She's fantastic. She has workshop after workshop. She buys from every catalog. In fact, she's probably one of the first people to call you when a new catalog comes out. She is responsible for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in product orders from you every year. And then she says, hey, you know what? I want to be a demo. I want to be in your downline. And you're so excited. And you recruit her, and all of a sudden, you realize that she's not really doing anything with the opportunity. She's not really doing anything with the business. She's not recruiting anybody, and all of a sudden, your sales numbers have kind of plummeted because you're also not getting the commissions for the amount of products she used to buy. So what happened? Well, what happened is very common. You recruited one of your best customers. And even though the companies will often say, oh, you should recruit your best customers, the reality is that most people who do recruit their best customers find out, unfortunately a little too late, that it's not the best idea in the world. So why is it that those women who are your best customers usually make the worst downline? Well, when you think about it, there are quite a few reasons, and every one of them is very logical. First of all, what does it mean when you say someone is your best customer? Well, they're buying a lot of stuff, right? They're participating in a lot of your events. So what does that mean? Basically, it means that they are the best hobbyists in your business. And so what you're doing is you're recruiting your best hobbyist. 99 times out of 100, maybe 999 times out of 1,000, your best hobbyists are not going to make very good stamping business owners. It just doesn't work that way. Now, maybe it worked for you. Maybe you know someone who it worked for. But the truth of the matter is that the vast, and I'm talking vast majority of hobbyists that you recruit are going to remain hobbyists. They're not going to convert to that stamping business owner mindset. It just doesn't happen. And so you end up recruiting a hobbyist into your business who's not doing anything with it. This is one of the reasons why you have to be really careful when you're recruiting your best customers into your downline. Another reason why they don't make the best downline is because they don't relate to you as an upline. They have a pre-existing relationship with you. And that relationship is that of, crafter to teacher, as opposed to downline to upline or apprentice to mentor, if you want to call it that. The truth is that they have probably never really seen the business side of you. And so they don't relate to the business side of you. And quite honestly, you may be a little less than comfortable showing your business side to them because it's not a side that you've really shown before. And, we're very self-conscious about that. We don't want to necessarily turn them off or scare them away. And so we don't show them the business side. But when you're an upline, that's the side you have to show. They need to see your business side because they're getting into a business. The word business is actually in the term business opportunity. And so if they just think that you're still the same teacher that you were before, the business opportunity doesn't really get past the level of glorified discount program for that new downline. And if the downline are considering this a glorified discount program and considering you kind of the coordinator of the discount program, yeah, they're not going to be a very good downline for you. And then you come upon the third reason why best customers usually don't make best downline, and it's a hard truth, and it stinks when you realize it. You will rarely earn as much for your downline commissions as you did when they were a customer and you were earning product commissions on them. It's just math, right? Think about it. You're earning, let's say, 30% on their purchases when they are a customer. You're earning maybe 5% on their purchases when they are your downline. So basically, you're only earning 1/6 of what you were earning when they were your customer. That means that in order to break even, in order to make as much money as you were making when they were your customer, your downline needs to buy and sell 6 times as much product as they were buying when they were a customer. So for every $100 they were purchasing themselves, they need to buy or sell $600 as a downline in order for you to make the same amount of money, much less make more money. And if they're not building their business, if they're not recruiting more downline, if they're not holding a lot of workshops, if they're not making phone calls, if they're not doing all of the things that you need to be doing if you're really building your stamping business, and they're probably not doing that, then there's no way that they're hitting 6 times the amount of product that they purchased on their own. The odds are that your new downline is probably buying the same amount of product, if not maybe a little bit more, than they were buying when they were a customer. And so you're only earning maybe 1/6, if you're lucky, 1/5 of what you were earning when they were a customer. And that is a hard truth. And it's one of the biggest reasons why you have to be careful about recruiting your best customers. So, what can you do about it? First of all, think hard, really hard, before you recruit your best customers. I'm very serious about this, because if you're just doing it because someone told you to do it, you're probably going to lose money as a result. They're probably not going to generate 6 times the amount of product sales that they did when they were your customer. It's just not going to happen. Again, I know that maybe you started out as a hobbyist and now you're a business owner. And maybe you know someone who started out as a hobbyist and now they're business owners. But you represent a minuscule portion of the total stamping business owner base. You represent maybe 1%, but probably less, of the total base of stamping business owners. And you can't build your business on what might happen 1 out of 100 times. You simply can't do that. So you really have to think hard before you recruit them. Think about whether or not this is going to be a winning or losing proposition for you. It's really important. And if you don't want to recruit them, then you can explain to them that when you recruit somebody as your downline, you have certain expectations. And you can lay out those expectations about what you expect them to do as a stamping business owner, as a member of your downline. You can let them know that they can't just keep coming to your classes like they were a customer, that they need to be holding their own classes. When you start telling them these sorts of things, the people who really aren't interested in doing this as a business will often say, oh, okay, I didn't realize that. and they rescind their request. That's usually how it happens. But you have to be willing to have that conversation. And if you do decide to recruit them, then you have to make sure that from the minute you start to have that conversation, you are speaking the language of business with them. You have to make sure that they see you as an upline, as a business mentor. You have to be comfortable in that role with them. You have to let them know that you do have expectations, that you do expect them to run a profitable business, that you do expect them to go out and get customers, that you do expect them to have workshops and classes and to make phone calls and to do marketing and advertising and all of the things that business owners do. You don't want to shy away from using words like profit and sales and phone calls and minimums and goal setting. You want to make sure you're speaking the language of business with them. Again, if they are really into the idea of doing this as a business, they're going to appreciate that. They're going to respond to that. And when you do recruit them, you're going to have someone much, much more likely to build their business than you did before. And if they don't want to do that, then you're going to keep them as a customer and you're going to continue to earn the sales commissions that you were earning before. It's actually a win-win. It's a win for you and it's a win for them. The important thing is to understand what happens when your best customers are recruited into your business and how to turn the odds a little bit more in your favor. If you enjoyed this episode of the Stamping is My Business podcast, please feel free to like it, share it, subscribe to it, and listen to more. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, our website, stampingismybusiness.com, and on our Facebook page, facebook.com/stampingismybusiness. If you have questions or ideas for future episodes, please email them to me at john@stampingismybusiness.com. This is John San Pietro, and I'm just trying to get you paid.